Hi, I'm Dr. Datner, and I'd like to make this work together that we're going to do as productive as possible. And I'm very excited that you're taking this step to improve your skin and your underlying health. There are two sets of information that we have for you, and one of them is telling you what you'll need to bring and prepare, and the other will be some agreements that you need to check off so that we make sure you have everything in order and that we're clear on how we're going to work together. The most important thing you can do for me is to really think about when things started, when they got better, when they got worse, and what was going on. Were you on a particular diet? Were you gluten-free when things were better, or didn't that make a difference? Were you using some kind of supplement when things got better or worse? Did you get exposed to some illness or some other condition in your body that was getting worse? Were you on a trip and came back and had diarrhea? Any of these kinds of things could be signs about what's going on underneath. Perhaps you had surgery and you might have forgotten, but you had anesthesia and you had antibiotics. So all of these things can make a big difference in your health. And if you put them in order, I can understand them much more quickly and ask you specific questions so I can understand what the likely causes are of your problem. A timeline is a very important thing, describing in the days, weeks, and months before your skin problem came up what was going on. And similarly, put a parallel timeline for other conditions, perhaps your thyroid or your digestive system, so that I can look across from one timeline to the other and see which came first. We don't want to spend our valuable time together figuring out whether the tummy ache came before the rash or after the rash, so that when we sit down together, you have that part together in your head and written for me to see, and then I can go deeper with the questions. Give me an opportunity to get a good look at your skin. And you can do that by either coming to the office without makeup on, or if that's not convenient, come to the office and take off your makeup and bring makeup so that you can reapply it after our visit. So I can get a good close look at your skin and examine it carefully and see what's involved. If it's possible, leave your nail polish off so that I can get a look at your nails. And perhaps don't drink any colored liquids immediately before a visit so I can get a clear look at the color of your tongue. These are little things that will help me see you better. In addition, sometimes there are clothing choices you can make that will make it easier for me to examine your skin in the areas where you're breaking out. A lot of women are more comfortable either wearing slacks or bringing a pair of shorts, and I will leave that choice up to you. One of the techniques I use is called applied kinesiology. It involves muscle response testing. This may seem a little foreign to you, but it's the same thing as if we were doing acupuncture, which is completely foreign and is not completely explained by scientific methodology. But it's a way that I gather information that I use in addition to the other information I'm getting by all the other sources that we're using. Some of this information we can also ask in other ways with laboratory tests, but those tests may be expensive and they may take a lot of time and they may not be available locally and have a requirement that we do some of the testing out of state. So I find that this is a way to cut through a lot of difficult and expensive testing and get answers right away. And I know one of the things you want is to be able to begin to get better as soon as possible. These things don't get corrected overnight. There are, of course, people who take away something that had been bothering them tremendously for their entire lives, and they get a lot better very quickly. But the average person has taken years to develop all of the different problems underlying the condition that they have, exhausting the backup systems in their body that were protecting them. And in order to get better, they've got to stop exhausting those backup systems, and they've got to really make some changes in a number of things that have been going on for a long time. Those changes involve what's living in your intestinal tract, all of the changes that your genome has gone through epigenetically in order to deal with everything going on, the changes that your immune system has made in dealing with everything that's happening inside your body. There are a host of different things that are going on that have to shift, and they don't shift overnight. You make a change in one thing, and then the compensatory systems, the ones that have been dealing with that, make changes subsequently, and so on all down the line. And those things take time. And if I can guide you through that, I can make a big change. If I get only 1 or 2 tries at fixing you, I don't really get the opportunity to make those changes with you, and we don't get to get the maximum work done together. It takes more than 1 visit, and it takes some feedback. As you experience improvements or issues, we interpret that together and figure out the best course to take. It takes a feedback going back and forth so that you explain to me what's happened with the changes that we've made, and I help you interpret that and see if it means that we need to make additional changes in direction beyond the series of things that I do as we're working together. People who follow my program for 3 to 6 months are really satisfied, but it takes some time for all of the changes to come through and manifest as improvements in your skin condition and your overall health. I'm really excited to have the opportunity to work with you in improving your skin and the underlying conditions that are leading to the problems that you've had, because I'm looking forward to all of the positive changes that you're going to have that are going to lead to a healthier, more energetic, more productive life. So let's get started.